We are live in 3, 2, 1.
And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg.
Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg takes the heat from Democratic rivals in his first night on the debate stage.
Overall, the idea is a living, breathing document that can change as revelation comes.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints releases a new handbook with updates for moral policies.
Utah County launches a mobile application for the upcoming 2020 elections. Welcome to Newsline. It's Thursday, February 20th. I'm Emma Benson.
And I'm Sierra Phipps.
The gloves are coming off. Last night's 9th Democratic debate welcomed a newcomer, Mike Bloomberg, who faced fire from all sides.
Mary Maloney has the highlights from Las Vegas.
In the 9th Democratic presidential debate, the focus was on a first-timer.
I actually welcomed Mayor Bloomberg to the stage. I thought that he shouldn't be hiding behind his TV ads.
Former Mayor Michael Bloomberg seeing a rise in the polls coincide with a brighter spotlight.
We shouldn't have to choose between one candidate who wants to burn this party down and another candidate who wants to buy this party out.
Feeling the heat from his fellow candidates for his support until recently of stop and frisk.
He didn't get a whole lot done. He had stop and frisk, throwing close to 5 million young black men up against the wall.
Past comments about women.
A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg.
And all that campaign cash he's spending.
Let me finish.
Bloomberg didn't hold back.
If he goes and is the candidate, we will have Donald Trump for another 4 years, and we can't stand that.
Beyond the new person on stage, Senator Bernie Sanders was looking for another win in Nevada to keep his momentum going strong.
We got more union support than you have ever dreamed of. We have the support of unions all across this country.
The debate was also a critical moment for former Vice President Joe Biden after disappointing performances in Iowa and New Hampshire.
NBC did a poll yesterday. It says Joe Biden is best equipped to beat Donald Trump.
Senator Elizabeth Warren also looking to reestablish herself as a top-tier candidate.
It's not a plan, it's a PowerPoint. And Amy's plan is even less. It's like a Post-it note.
In Las Vegas, I'm Mary Maloney.
Just this morning, Michael Bloomberg stopped in Salt Lake City to rally community members, leaders, and activists. The rally took place at the venue 669 and had hundreds of people attend. Bloomberg says he wants to teach supporters in Utah more about his plan to defeat Donald Trump. Bloomberg is one of a few Democratic candidates, including Peter Buttigieg, to make a stop in Utah before Super Tuesday. Another presidential candidate is coming to Utah this weekend. Tulsi Gabbard will host a Meet the Candidate event at the University of Utah and then a town hall at Pierpoint Place in Salt Lake City. Both of those events will be held on Friday, February 21st. The following day, Gabbard will be at the Provo Marriott Hotel for another town hall. Pete Buttigieg, another presidential candidate, was in Salt Lake City Monday.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has released an updated version of the General Handbook. 9 of the 38 chapters of the handbook have been rewritten. The remaining 29 chapters will also be rewritten in upcoming years. The church originally planned to release the new handbook in 2022, but decided to release it early.
But as those first chapters came out, the First Presidency in 12 felt that the updates were important enough to release as soon as possible.
The handbook is available in a digital copy. The church says that a digital version will make updating additional changes more convenient for the future. The handbook is available in English and plans to be translated into an additional 51 languages. To see the official First Presidency letter or a list of frequently asked questions, go to churchofjesuschrist.org.
Along with the changes to the LDS handbook, Brigham Young University also altered parts of its honor code. Alessandra Harris has more on the change. Alessandra?
BYU has changed parts of its honor code policy regarding homosexual behavior. The recently released General Handbook of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints led BYU to alter the honor code to match. The Daily Universe reported on the change, quoting from the Church's General Handbook, saying, God's commandments forbid all unchaste behavior, either same-sex or heterosexual. The updated honor code states that we are to live a chaste and virtuous life, including abstaining from any sexual relations outside of a marriage between a man and a woman. The honor code office also removed the section that targeted homosexual behavior specifically. Now, people were initially excited about the changes, with Twitter user Francesca saying, "The honor code was updated and now gay students can date." Another student replied saying, "If this is real, we need to have a big party." Unfortunately, many have misunderstood what the changes mean. BYU clarified by posting that even though we have removed the more prescriptive language, the principles of the honor code remain the same. The clarification caused a lot of negative feedback. User Blake said that these changes are empty and confusing, while this user compared the new honor code to a dumpster fire. To clarify, the change means there is the same consequences if there is an honor code infraction, whether it be between a homosexual couple or a heterosexual couple. Neil M. from Twitter posted that people do have their agency. The honor code cannot change that. That does not mean you can do whatever you want and remain at BYU. The honor code does just represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and will continue to represent them.
Tooele County Police released a letter from a dead man who was found in a freezer on November 22nd of 2019. Paul Mather's body was found in a freezer with his head taped in a garbage bag. Investigators say he died in 2009. His wife, 79-year-old Jeanne Mathers, died of apparently natural causes in 2019. Mathers insisted his wife was innocent in a letter that police released Wednesday saying, "I want it known that Jeanne is in no way responsible for my death, although that will be what my drama queen mother will claim."
Salt Lake City teachers organize a walkout on behalf of their students.
Join us on Friday, February 28th to walk for students up to the Utah Capitol.
These teachers are walking in protest of minimal funding within the Salt Lake City School District. The association hopes to reduce class sizes, hire and retain substitute teachers, and retain quality paraeducators.
This is about the success of public schools in Utah. Join us on February 28th to walk for students.
The group also mentioned the importance of hiring mental health professionals to work with trauma-affected students. These teachers will first hold a rally at 1 p.m. at the Federal Building before beginning their walk from the Rotunda at 2 p.m. The organizers ask attendees to come dressed in red.
A new Utah bill would require women to get an ultrasound before an abortion. HB 364 says that before a medical professional can authorize an abortion, they have to describe the ultrasound image to the woman and make the heartbeat audible. The woman would have to sign a paper stating the doctor did these things. The bill also states that a woman can choose whether she wants to see the images or hear the heartbeat. A bill regulating flavored vaping products was approved in the House. The bill hopes to make vaping less dangerous, especially to children, by adding regulation to who can sell flavored vaping products. A store must be licensed as a specialty tobacco retail store if they want to continue selling the product. The legislation is now moving to the Senate.
A new poll from the political website UtahPolicy.com says that the top priority among Utah voters in 2020 is improving public education. The poll says that 61% of Utah voters think that improving public education should be a top priority, and 32% think it should be a moderately important priority. The next highest issues on the list were improving air quality, making healthcare more affordable and accessible, making housing more affordable, and protecting the environment. While legislators decide on what to vote on, Utah County is deciding how the voting will be done. Despite some cybersecurity concerns, Utah County plans on using a mobile voting application in this year's elections. The application, called Votes, V-O-A-T-Z, works using facial recognition and blockchain and allows some voters to vote without needing to send in a physical ballot. The app would only be available to a few select groups of people like military personnel overseas or people with physical disabilities.
Just a few hours ago, Brigham Young University released construction plans for the new building that will house the School of Music. Victoria Biazovich is live on BYU campus to tell us more about this big project. Victoria, where will the building be?
Yes, the new construction of the future School of Music will take place just a couple hundred feet behind me, near the last school. Early this year, the rumors began about the construction of a new building for the student of the music school. Finally, the rumors have become a reality, and today BYU released the big surprise. The new music building will be a reality.
This could be a pretty big thing, so I'm not too sure.
Like the one on the other side of the hall?
Like the last school.
The School of Music is currently at the Harris Fine Arts Center. The H-shaped building was dedicated in 1965 by President Joseph Fielding Smith. This old building includes 5 theater, classroom, and practices room, but also share its facility with the art, dance, and theater department. Students declare that it will be great to have a building just for them.
Well, the current situation in the HVAC is that all the rooms are pretty old, all the tech and equipment is pretty old and run down, and the practice rooms are actually really bad. And there are about 3 rooms in the school that sound good, and this is one of them. And there's usually classes going on. So hopefully in a newer building, more of the practice rooms would sound, I don't know, better, so you would actually have a desire to practice.
The new building will be located at Northeast Campus, and it will have all the technology, equipment, and spaces to help students to grow and become better in their own careers. I know when ground will be broken for the new facility. Reporting live in Provo, I'm Victoria Vyasevich, NewsLine.
Thanks, Victoria. The YServe Committee creates a new way to attract students to serve. Find out how Brigham Young University students are reacting to this new interactive way to do service.
It makes me happy and it brings me joy in my life, so that's why I want to do it, just to keep me alive.
A Utah poet is finding success in giving back to the community. Find out how her workshops are bringing joy to a group of students.
Find out what eerie weather is coming back to haunt northern Utah this weekend. My full weather report next.
The forest is a whole hidden world of wonders. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Brigham Young University students wants students to do more service in the local community, so members of Y Service have created a service machine. NewsLine reporter Natalie Janes is live in the Wilkinson Center. Natalie, what is a service machine?
At Christmas time, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints puts out giving machines where people can donate to those in need. Recently, YServe has put their spin on this idea by creating something called a service machine.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm currently the face of the service machine.
A real person on the inside and cardboard exterior with cutouts to push. This homespun service machine offers 12 different service categories students can choose from, including athletics and recreation, arts and music, or technology and coding. Students simply press the service category they want, and a service idea from that category will vend out of the bottom.
Because YServe has over 70 different programs, and a lot of people just don't know about these service opportunities.
The YServe members who invented this low-tech box hope the authentic presentation will attract students and get them more involved in service.
We've been doing, just different things to try and get more students involved in YServe and aware of the different service opportunities.
Members of the YServe committee designed and created this box as part of their marketing efforts for YServe.
How you doing in there, Sam?
Everything's okay.
They have somebody in this box that's vending all different sorts of service activities for students to participate in throughout the week. YSERV representatives outside the box encourage students to get involved.
And I just think that was a really cool and inventive way to get people to come check out different ways to serve.
They only used this cardboard service machine for a couple hours until they packed it up and put it away. But they will be back tomorrow in the Wilkinson Center from 12:30 to 1:30. Reporting live for Newsline in Provo, I'm Natalie Janes.
Thanks, Natalie.
A Utah poet found success by teaching her classes for free. Newsline reporter Lauren Crowdy shows us the magic that comes from paying it back.
Every Monday evening, Dr. Natasha Saye teaches a free poetry workshop for the Salt Lake community. Today, we get an exclusive look inside her classroom. About 10 years ago, after her poetry class at Westminster College failed to fill, Dr. Saye decided to start paying it back to her community. With the help of a state grant, Dr. Saye opened applications up to join her Monday evening class for free.
I get anywhere between 20 and 40 applications a year and pick as many qualified people as I have spaces for once I know how many students are going to be taking the class.
Each week, the class starts with a discussion on recently published poetry and finishes with the students sharing their own poems in groups.
It's nice to just be part of the community and be able to get insight and feedback from other poets. I just want to make my poetry better.
Dr. Saye hopes her students will join the conversation and give back to their community.
It makes me happy and it brings me joy in my life, so that's why I want to do it, just to keep me alive.
The next round of applications for this workshop opens August. I'm Lauren Crowdy, reporting for Newsline.
There is a flash flood watch in central Mississippi. The National Weather Service is predicting rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches and flooding to get worse. A local official says the county has more than 62 miles of the river running through it. The high water left some homes accessible only by boat and caused roads to be shut down. Here in Utah, we are going to see some precipitation this weekend. So behind me, I have the 5-day weather radar, and we see that a weather system is going to come into southern Utah and get a mix of snow and rain. And then later in the week, a weather system is going to come in northern Utah and hit us with a bit of snow. Going on to our highs and lows of today. In northern Utah and Logan, we have a high of 30, Salt Lake City and Provo at 40. And no, in these areas, in these cities in northern Utah, we're gonna get some haze tonight and tomorrow. That's gonna last just for those 2 days and kind of dissipate over the weekend. So be aware of that and be safe on the roads. Down in southern Utah and St. George, we have a high of 61. Logan, we have a high of 14, Salt Lake City and Provo at 25, and St. George at 36. For our 5-day forecast in southern Utah, we have sun and warm weather on Friday, but then as that weather system comes in, it's going to get some rain and highs in the 54s, and then in about the 60s and mid-50s with lows staying in the low 40s and then lowering in the 30s. For our 5-day forecast in northern Utah, we're going to have sun, but that haze is going to create that cloud coverage in those urban areas with highs in the mid and high 40s and then drop down on Monday as that weather system comes in and get some snow and then lower temperatures on Tuesday with some low temperatures in the mid 30s and in the 20s. So if you're in northern Utah, be aware that we will have some haze over the next couple of days. So make sure that you're driving slowly, you're aware of your roads, and in southern Utah, be prepared for a little bit of mixture of rain and snow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the weather. It looks pretty good for this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully it heats up. I'm anxious to hear if sports is heating up too.
Oh, it is. BYU basketball has 2 big games coming up this weekend. See what Coach Mark Pope has to say about tonight's game. And the upcoming NFL season may have some new changes. I'll tell you what they are next.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe! Ooh.
The BYU men's basketball team has been firing on all cylinders, which has led them to their first appearance in the AP Top 25 in 9 years. NewsLine reporter Blake O'Rulian got the chance to speak to Coach Pope about tonight's game, as well as their season as a whole.
Tonight, the number 23 BYU Cougars look to extend their win streak to 7 against a tough Santa Clara team.
And this is going to be the hardest game we've played all season long. That we're going to have to compete harder than we've ever played before. And when you keep building that, I think you usually have success.
Success is an understatement for this year's squad, as the Cougars are the number 1 three-point shooting team in the country, as well as number 2 in three-point field goals made, and number 3 in field goal percentage and assists.
I'm happy for these guys. We have a bunch of vets on this team, guys that were here before, guys that came back, guys that came from somewhere else.
It's not only just the stellar play on this court that makes this team so special, it's also the leadership that's coming off of the court, specifically from seniors Yoli Childs and TJ Haws.
It's awesome. You know, basically, I just get to sit home in the afternoon and watch Oprah and know that those guys will take care of the team. I mean, I'm saying that, but with a little bit of seriousness. You know, this is a locker room guided team. It's really the key ingredient that makes for special teams is when it can be a player-led team. This certainly is that.
The praise coach gives is mutual. In just his first season, BYU has put their trust in Pope, which has led them to their best season in years.
As soon as he got in here, he gathered us all together and said, you know, we're here to do something special. Buy in now, and it'll pay off in the long run. So.
The Cougars are second in the WCC with a projected 6th seed for the NCAA tournament. Reporting for NewsLine in Provo, I'm Blake O'Rulian.
Following tonight's game, the team will conclude their home season on Saturday against number 2 Gonzaga. The home finale has sold out the Marriott Center for the first time in 2 years and will be a huge game between the top 2 teams in the WCC. The last time the teams met in January, Gonzaga beat BYU 92-69. The women's basketball team is on the road for their final WCC road trip of the season. The Cougs will take on Santa Clara tonight at 7 Pacific time and San Francisco Saturday at noon Pacific time. BYU is currently 15-9 and tied with San Diego for second place in the WCC. Number 2 BYU men's volleyball will host Concordia tonight and then USC on Saturday. The Cougs remain undefeated and their 13-match win streak is the second best start since 1999. The match tonight begins at 7 and will be televised on BYU TV. After an exciting All-Star weekend, the Jazz will be back in action tomorrow night.
Are they going to go for the win or the tie?
The Jazz will host the Spurs at the Vivint Arena and are currently the 4th seed in the Western Conference. The game tips off at 7 p.m. The NFL is expected to make some changes this upcoming season. According to multiple reports, some of the changes include adding 2 teams to the playoffs and reducing the number of playoff byes. In the regular season, a game would be added to each team, making it 17 games, and the preseason would be shortened to 3 games per team. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here, sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 70 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it, let's go.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals 25. Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
What would you do if you found an envelope lying on the ground filled with enough money to buy a used car?
One Kentucky retail worker found herself in this exact situation when she found an envelope full of $5,000 in her store. Katrina Thomas, who goes by Deanie, works at the Rural King department store in Maysville, Kentucky. When she found a heavy envelope stuffed with cash just lying on the ground, she knew what she had to do. Thomas returned the money, and she says it wasn't a difficult decision. The owner of the envelope returned and was able to get all their money back, all thanks to Deanie Thomas. What a cool story. You don't hear that every day.
That is so incredible. I love hearing Good Samaritan stories like that. It kind of, I don't know, reinstates your faith in humanity.
Great.
It's good.
Thanks. Have a great day.